I don't think there is any angle we'll talk about United that we haven't touched about before, right? There's nothing to say on.
No, we've talked about that.
There's nothing to say on Ole. There's literally nothing to say on Ole. Like, we literally have spoken about Ole.
But, I mean, after the...
But also, I was going to say this, that does it mean that aside United first 13 players, for instance, they don't have players that he can rely on?
No, the truth is that the players can do so much, right? And the players ultimately are the ones that execute the systems. They're the ones that, managers obviously have to put the team together to control the mood in the club. Managers have to know what pieces work together. Managers have to be the ones to be emotionless, try and act based on the numbers and man management. That's where managers come in. And ultimately lay the foundations for the team to go out and play the way he thinks they should play. But ultimately, players win the games, right? And there are times that managers also win the games because they make an incredible call. But in the end, it's the player that executes that call. Having said that, I think that United's problem, for the first time, and it's hard for me to say this because I'm a guy that constantly puts the buck at the doorstep of the players. I always say, look, something's going wrong, the players have to take responsibility. But for the first time in a long while, this is on the manager.
Because when they brought in Greenwood and Fernandes yesterday, they played better.
No, but they played better, but they couldn't score a goal, right? So basically, what you're relying on is
individual brilliance.
You're relying on Bruno to do Bruno, right? To do what you have seen him do
in the last 18 months.
So the question is, what are the routines on the training pitch?
Yeah.
What is the model of play? And I hate to talk about models of play because I think that in the end, when you get on the pitch and meet other teams, your model of play can be shut down in 5 minutes because the other team just has more energy than you. They're better prepared for it than you, and just mentally more prepared than you.
Yeah, so you have to adjust.
Your model goes to shits in many ways. But with Ole, you can tell that all he's doing as Manchester United's head coach is speak to the media for us because we need someone to do that. Smile. You have a great smile.
Them boys,
they call you the babyface assassin.
Everything today.
You look great, and to fairness, he's a nice guy. He looks great, nice suits, looks like a young guy, even though he's 45 thereabout. And he says the right things. So, put a arm around Bruno, tell Bruno, Bruno, he's Portuguese, he plays well. These boys, that's what he does.
Give everything on the pitch today.
When you see Tuchel talk in press conferences, and I'm a sucker for press conferences because I watch a lot of them. Managers give you a good insight into the game. This is why we make this call. Or even because managers they try not to give too much. Say, this is why we have done this. Ole never gives you anything that suggests that when you go to the background, he is hands-on with the job. He tells you about Carrick. He says, the boys been working on the training pitch. We delegate things. He talks about what's his name? Kieran, the stand guy. You always see 3 guys.
Yeah,
Carrick and
that's the guy that Mourinho promoted. Now.
Yeah, that's the guy Mourinho. But I think Mourinho brought that guy up here.
Yeah, something.
He talks about that a lot. For a guy like Ole, who's just starting out, he's not starting out, but he's doing his first big job.
Okay, that's better because Ole started.
Ole started for a long time, but I mean, this is his first big job. He should be doing everything hands-on. I follow Roma's Instagram, and all the time you see Mourinho doing stuff hands-on. Even the players tell you he's the first one out on the training pitch. He's putting cones together. He's coming up with new systems. Chelsea players will tell you that Conte is very hands-on. Conte can give you guys.
Conte is like a mad person.
Yeah.
He's like a mad person. He can tell you today we're taking tomorrow off. Tomorrow in the morning, you send a message to everybody and say we're training today, and there's nothing you can do. You have to come to training.
The only way that happens is a guy who's thinking about the game 247. Because he's probably thought about something. It's like I hit you up in the middle of the night, and I say, Wally, we need to cut this clip out on the pod. If you're not constantly thinking about it, and I'm not saying that Ole doesn't constantly think about the game. I'm saying that he is not good enough to.
You just go. For example, you mentioned Tuchel. So was it the Spurs game? First half, Chelsea struggled. Spurs literally dominated Chelsea in the first half. The start of the second half, he brought out Mount, played Kante. That's to tell you, the guy is thinking this was the plan we came in to the first half with. It's not working.
Yeah.
So I'm not waiting for this guy to see if we'll get into the game. No. I'm bringing him out immediately.
There's no need.
So because there's something, this is my plan. It's not working. Let's try another plan. What's the pattern of play? Because when you see Ole at press conferences, you're thinking maybe he's going to tell you, okay, give you some sort of suggestion that, okay, maybe the plan, something something happened was why the plan didn't work. So you know that there was a plan. But he's always going to give you those vague ideas. You know, those boys have been working. We've had a good distance in training.
I tell you what,
We've had-
Ole is in many ways. Raw is doing a fantastic job with Nigeria, but in many ways like Raw. Says the right things, doesn't interfere. But when you look for the technical bits, how to influence a game, and yes, people will say, "Oh, you know, he brought on Lingard to score the goal last time out," but it's a sub he will make every other day.
So when you look at it, right? Who Dan James was signed when Ole was hired.
Ole signed
right?
Dan James, yeah.
So Martial now, after last night's game, then the conversation is beginning to say, okay, that's it.
I think Marcel is done.
Yeah,
You know, that's his
after
time
last
up.
at
That's his
United,
time
yeah.
up at United.
Yeah.
And
It took United fans 2 years or
You know-
3 years after, but
you know, and
finally.
you have to ask him because you mentioned something about, you know, after the first 11, 13 players, he doesn't really have players to rely on. But that's the team he has built himself. He's been there 3 years or
There's Van de Beek on the bench.
Funny how
there is Van de Beek on the bench. There is Matic or Fred on the bench. There's
Yeah.
Pogba on the bench.
There's
There's Scott
Pogba,
McTominay on the
there's,
bench. There's
you know,
Alex Telles on the
there's
bench. That's
Martial.
that's players he's brought in. There's Mata on the bench. You cannot sit here and tell me nobody can
say you don't have players to trust after your first 11,
Chelsea's
12.
team. After Chelsea's team won, 2 City, 3.
No, it
Has
has
to-
to. It has to be the United.
See, three has to be United.
Not Liverpool. Yeah.
No, you know Liverpool don't have the kind of depth United have. No way. Nowhere in the
You know,
world.
because that's the team you built for yourself. When you look at that Chelsea team, for example, the level of competition is insane.
It's crazy. To think that Pulisic has not even kicked the
Has
ball
not even-
He's been injured.
in the last 4 weeks now.
I think that's a shame for police because I love the player.
Yeah, love
but I
him,
feel
love him.
He can't
that's
stay
the
fit.
that's the
Now,
trajectory we have.
interestingly, if he can stay fit, I think Pulisic will always get into the team because Chelsea don't have. He brings something very different that Chelsea doesn't really have. Yes, you know, you've got a striker that can score goals. You've got wingers maybe that are quick and all that. But he's the only player that is actually very good at taking people on.
He's very direct.
Dribble, take on defenders, take them out of the way, then create chances. Hudson-Odoi is supposed to be that kind of player as well,
Oh, yeah,
but
that's
hasn't
exactly,
really matured
He
well.
hasn't, he hasn't.
So Pulisic is the only guy. If he stays fit and is consistent enough, we'll always get into the team. I think.
Yeah. I wanted to wrap up on Ole and say, look, I think United's problems just started because when you have and I think Biola put it very accurately, when you have a team as big as United's squad, you need a deep run.
Yeah, you need domestic hubs
You
too.
need a deep run to
Yeah.
keep players happy.
Yeah.
When you get knocked out in the first round, if I'm United's board,
It's a
I am
problem.
telling him that he's on high alert. We have our eyes on you now. In the next 10 games, we'll possibly fire you. And this is where the body language, this is why I love Abramovich. Because
seconds.
this is why I love Abramovich. You should know when you're on a tightrope.
Yeah.
You have lost the FA Cup third round at the first attempt. Sorry, the Carabao
Carabao
Cup.
Cup.
If I don't tell you, you should call me and tell me that I know that we've dropped the ball here. What is the chance that if you've lost the FA Cup, rather, I keep saying the FA Cup, Carabao Cup in the first leg, that means you can't run for a Premier League title.
Yeah,
That tells me that. And I said this thing 1 month ago. It looked like a joke. Ole cannot hold his nerve when it comes to anything that doesn't have a second chance. The league gives you, you win today, you can play
can win
tomorrow.
tomorrow, yeah.
You know, if push comes to shove, you can bet on Ole to pee in his pants.
and you see
He would mess it up.
the bigger
And
problem.
funny thing is that the domestic corps will have served as a bit of safety net for him.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
going
so-
because
so-
win,
so
win,
out
win
of
both
four
of them.
tournaments,
Yeah,
the
win
bigger
both of them.
You're out of one
One already.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
three.
more
Yeah,
pressure on you.
That three, you know that Chelsea will put their eye there.
Yeah, City,
City will put their eye there.
Liverpool,
Liverpool put their eye there.
Madrid
So,
are already on the other one.
of course,
PSG
you
are
know,
there.
So no, you can't. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
they are
bigger,
there.
the
You
bigger
don't
problem.
drive Picanto. You want to go drive Range
So the
Rover.
bigger problem is, I mean, you mentioned these players are on the bench. The bigger problem is that some of them are really senior players with a lot of influence, right? Maybe not a lot of influence in the direct dressing room there, but their players are well known. They are players that will get talked about in the media very well if they don't get a lot of games, which will put pressure on the team. So you have the Mata. Sometimes Matic gets a game, he doesn't
Mata is
get a
never.
game. You have, but he's the one that has allowed them to
I think
remain in
to
the
be
team.
very honest.
I think
to
he's like
very
a
honest,
player manager now.
I didn't remember Mata until yesterday.
you know, he's the one that has allowed them remain in the team. If it's not,
I don't think Mata would affect.
Mata
no, you
actually,
know that's not what I mean. What I mean, I don't think Mata is the guy that comes and starts. I'm saying we're talking about these other cups, domestic cups, giving you a safety net. You can allow you to give a number of games to some of these guys that are not your core first team players, right? But now you are out, and you see these players. The more they don't play, there's that inner, you know, that happens, and it's going to affect your team.
Even though I think that Mata should have left the club.
I mean, he should have
4 years ago. I think those are just. I love Mata as a human being. I think what he's doing with the one goal project is fantastic.
Yeah, and I also think that when
football wise, Mata was done 4 years ago.
When you are building a team, right? When you are building a team for a top club, I don't think it makes sense to build a team to bring in players with the idea of. Yes, maybe one or two can come in with that idea, but I don't think it makes sense to bring players in knowing that, this player most likely won't play in the Premier League. You know, we're just bringing him there are players that can come in like that.
To be honest, that is always down to the player.
But you have to build. No. Sometimes, because I'm thinking, why is Mata in the team? Because I'm comparing to what City have got, what Chelsea have got.
Think about it. If a player like Wilfred Zaha, if City be forget Wilfred Zaha himself knows that when he goes to City, he will be on the bench. He knows he will start every game. He knows that.
No, but you see,
over time you could get your chance.
You cannot possibly
over time you get your chance.
You get your chance. But should a Wilfred Zaha type player be on the bench?
Now let me tell you what I'm saying. I get what you mean. There are players that you bring in. He knows that look, that team I'll probably be on. I don't walk into the team. But there are players that you know that I don't walk into the team. But
I'll give it a fight.
There's that quality that I can give it a fight. So what I'm saying this is, why is Mata? I mean, Dan James left the team. Mata should be out of the team. So that's why I'm going. Like, Dan James left the team. Mata was never, like you said, Mata has been done for how long?
Yeah, for a long time.
Get him out of the team. Get a player that's going to compete with every single player in that midfield.
Right. We need to move away from United.
Just to know that Zidane and Conte are on the sidelines watching.
Zidane
Exactly, but they are both available.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't. United fan, would you have Zidane at your club or Conte?
I think Zidane can come in and manage those guys.
I know United fans. No, Conte is a top manager. If
he's just as a madman.
One thing you can guarantee Conte gives you is Conte would compete.
Yeah.
Definitely
with the big boys.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
Do I think Conte is do I think he's a proven?
I think he's an emotional guy.
No. He's proven, but hasn't won the Champions League.
But United want a manager that's got the DNA. So
hasn't won the Champions League. And I
came really, really close and lost to the best team.
Which close is that?
Neymar, the team
the
that
Juventus
MSN.
won.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fairness, great team. So
that was so close,
bro. I'll put him.
Equalizing.
I'll put him there.
That was before half time, bro.
But I feel like Conte needs to win the Premier League title. Conte would need another
6 more players.
No, not. I think United squad. I think he comes in. He works
with
the team.
Is good. And Conte loves a small squad.
The problem is that if he comes in, he takes another 2 years to win the title.
Nah.
I don't think Conte is the guy that comes in and hits
I think he wins
running.
it next year.
No.
If Conte comes into that United squad right now.
Next season.
Because Conte will always have that goodwill with the owners for the first year.
Amongst all the top
managers
managers
for the first 2 years.
Conte is the one guy I feel like you would need 3 years at least to win title.
No, but why would he came into Chelsea in the first year.
Inter 2 years.
Chelsea was
Inter 2 years. He built the Inter team.
No. Inter, he won the title. Okay, he lost the first one. He didn't win the title the first year.
He lost in 2 years. And I don't love Conte anyways, but I'm just saying that I rate him a lot. What I'm saying is that
in 2 years, Juve declined.
In that 2 years, Juve were not Juve. When he left, Napoli were not. No. When he arrived,
okay.
When he arrived, he had won in the first year.
He bottled the
first one. Juve the next year were terrible. AC Milan started very well, tailed off. Relax now. In my opinion, who else was going to win it? Who else was going to win it? I'm not trying to.
Leicester won it in that kind of season. In that kind of season, Leicester won it.
I'm not belittling the achievement.
You are.
So Napoli could have won it.
Relax now.
Not forgetting this was the season Napoli were doing very well on that side.
No.
So it was the same season. It could have been a Leicester season.
It was.
It could have been in Leicester
It was the
season
season
where
they were doing very
an
well
odd
with-
team would have won it.
Sarri was at Chelsea.
Conte won how many titles at Inter? Are you talking
Won now.
Inter? You won how
No,
many?
he only spent 2
That
years
was last
now.
season.
He
Yes,
only
no,
spent 2
no,
years.
not Chelsea.
Okay.
But in a year that Juventus don't do well, Ronaldo scored 25 goals. They still struggle to finish in top 4. That means they were terrible, right?
I think Milan
relax.
should have won the league.
Napoli were shit last year.
Milan were good.
Milan were good for the first 15 games.
That's true.
Tailed off. Lazio would have been the team to do it, but those ones too tailed off.
No, you are discrediting. What happened?
Boy, he built a
What
machine.
happened was that
Which
he
machine?
built a team that was better than
Lautaro
everybody.
Martinez, Lukaku.
Before Conte came,
Which
before
machine?
Conte
Bro,
came, bro.
they were mad.
Before
That
Conte
combination
came,
was-
before Conte came,
They won
right?
the league with 8 games to go.
Look, before Conte came, that
shows
Juventus,
you that there was competition.
Juventus that looked very bad would have been second.
No,
or would have won the
not
league.
with Pello, please. No.
No. Before Conte came, that's why I didn't say Juventus will win the league.
Before Conte came.
Before Conte came, that same team, that Juventus
But-
team that you're
but-
saying
but-
is
but-
bad,
but we're not-
would have been second or would have won the league.
But that was-
But we're not talking about before Conte came now. We're
No,
talking
no, if then that means you can't be talking about Conte won because these people were bad. No, Conte built a team that was better than everybody.
I think he did. He built a team bigger than everybody. Yeah.
He built
Yeah.
a team, but
that was
other-
better than everybody.
No, he built a team.
But he didn't have enough competition.
Those two statements can exist.
Yeah, true.
You get.
They're not mutually exclusive.
Relax now. You get. I play with good part. You play with bad part.
But I'm better than you too.
No, this analogy will bring it.
No,
You
no,
know
no,
what?
no work.
You know
No
what?
work.
You know what?
No,
You know what? You know
if
what?
I'm better
It's a
than
good
you-
Bad part. No.
Relax. I'm saying that the two statements can exist in the same
Not
breath.
good and bad part.
You understand?
Not good and bad part. That one no work.
You hold good part.
That one no work.
I better pass you.
You understand? I can't better pass you again. I never tip the scale like this. You get. So Conte built a good team, expecting that they go jam 'em. But nobody ping him. So the guy just went on a full head on.
In fact,
But
the
he
first,
won it.
the first one he lost. He bottled it. Not like anybody chased
he
him.
He lost it
bottled
with
it.
no. He lost it with just 2 points or something.
He dropped points now. Not like
They were
happens,
dropped,
bro.
in
That
fact, they were
happens.
topping the table for such a long time.
Yes.
And in the last 12 games or something like
Yes.
that, they just slack. In
Eh,
fact,
but
they
that's
didn't even finish second. They finished third or fourth.
That's very unfair. That's very unfair
On who?
to now call Conte out for that. That's a team.
no, okay,
listen,
okay, relax,
listen.
relax.
That's a team that was nowhere near Juventus for 9 years.
Well, true, sure.
That is
Relax.
unfair to
So
now
mentality-
call Conte
mentality-wise,
out
they were
on
not
that.
there.
Okay, I agree. But who should we call out? We don't call Conte out.
No, what you realize is that Juventus were a very solid side.
No.
And despite the fact that Conte and Inter Milan were leading for a long time,
They still had
it
winners.
was still a very strong Juventus
They
at the
still had
time.
winners, yeah.
So who we
but,
call out
but I
now?
think that you have to give him credit for what he did at Chelsea.
Do you understand?
At Chelsea,
No, Chelsea's title, it's perfect.
perfect.
And what he
Yeah.
did at Italy.
No,
With
what
Italy.
With
Italy, the
He
national
didn't
team.
win-
He didn't win.
This
I
guy
think he
didn't
didn't
do
win.
anything.
National team, no, he didn't do anything.
No.
He
He
didn't
didn't win a title.
Yeah,
He didn't win a title,
No,
but they had
no.
a but they had a
He
team
did-
that
he did-
everybody
no.
feared.
Did a good. So what Conte
They
did?
had a team that no one wanted to play.
But that the one that
no
lost the
one wanted
Euros.
to play
They lost the
against.
Euros.
What they did with Italy?
Was fantastic.
Was it the World Cup? Was it World
Was it
I
when
think
I lost
was
the
the
World
World Cup? It was the World Cup.
Was it the World Cup?
They
Can't
were
remember.
very, very strong.
Was
in
it
the World Cup.
2000?
No, 2018 now.
No, Conte 2018.
Yes, now. 2018 World Cup was Conte now.
Where did they get to?
I don't know. I'll just confirm.
I can't remember.
Let me just look
But I
it up.
know Italy under Conte was
They were
a team
solid.
that no one wanted to play against.
No, stop that, please.
They were so
They were-
solid.
No.
They beat Spain. They beat some big boys and they beat them well.
What did they go beat before?
But that was what happened in the Champions League too with Juve now in the end. That's the same thing.
And they
happened.
lost out in the
They
final.
were solid.
They
You know,
lost out in the final.
sorry. Italy didn't qualify for 2018 World Cup. So it was 2014 World Cup.
2014.
They lost
Oh,
out
it
in
was
the
the
final.
Euros.
It was the Euros. That's what I'm saying. It was the Euros.
It was the Euros.
It was
Where
the
playing
Euros.
Damian on the left. No,
It was the
But that was a
Euros.
very good team.
Yeah.
It was
That was a very
a
good team.
good team. So that's what you call a stopgap.
And understand also that it was a job that Conte. That's the thing. Conte came in, rallied the team, built something really strong over a short period of time. Then you now have to go and compete with. Yeah, you are going to do well, but then when you now face teams that they've had years together.
Right. So we're not even trying to analyze Conte. I'm just saying that for me, it would take at least 2 years to win the title with United. At least 2 years.
So strong.
Where Conte will come in very well is in the cup games. You can trust that his understanding of strategy will serve him well.
But this is a 600 million pound squad now.
Do you guys agree that United have like 13, 14 solid players?
I said it already now. I said it
They
already.
can win the league. What if with Chelsea with just 13 players?
Conte can come in and say, I want Ashley Young back.
Exactly. That's the problem with Conte.
Conte if you come and say, I beg you, I'm not giving
What them are Takusi Ben?
You won't hire him if you won't give him those things. Because he will tell you before you hire him.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
He say, if you don't give me Brozovic, I know if you play.
And the next press conference, he will talk about it.
You get so Conte is like Redknapp. Redknapp, you don't hire Redknapp. Just call Cranshaw as well. Say about all the four what you did. You know, it's what it is. But I mean, in the end, that's what it is. Hi there. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Please leave a subscribe on the channel, The Hindsight Podcast, and also on Instagram at The Hindsight Podcast. It's the same on Twitter as well. Leave a like, a retweet, or a comment. We'll see you soon.